Whenever God has blessed us with the privilege of being able to do what we love to do, it is said that you never take that for granted. And I just want to say one more time, each and every day, on every show, trying to make a difference and trying to be a blessing with the gifts that God has blessed me with. And I also want to acknowledge the fact that without you, there'll be no Queen J TV or My African Life TV, and these shows will have no meaning. Honestly, when I started the show, one thing that I was worried about was, would anybody care? Would anybody watch? Would anybody subscribe? And as I worried and stressed over that, the Holy Spirit said to me and sent me to His Word. It said, "A sower went out to sow. Some fell on good soil, some fell on rocky soil, some fell among thorns, and some fell by the roadside." So we know that, God willing, this message will fall on good soil. And I pray that you continue to support this show by liking the video, leaving your comments at the bottom of the screen. When you scroll down, your comments are there. You can let me know what you're thinking. And please, always take the time to share. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we are trying to get to about 250 subscribers by the end of the year, God willing. So please take the time, send it to your family, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, just to share what God is blessing us with through His Word. So once again, you're welcome. My name is Queen J, and we're still on the Love series. During the year, God willing, I have guests that will be coming on the show to share with us a few ideas and tell us what is happening around. So watch out for those shows as well. And if you've not had the opportunity to watch other videos on the channel, please take the time to do so. What are we talking about today? Today, my show is titled Men Don't Cry. Men Don't Cry. I love this topic, and I remember about 8 years ago, I wrote an article in African Spectrum, which is a newspaper. And when I wrote that article, it was coming to the fact that I had heard over the years from various quarters of women, different backgrounds. It didn't matter whether black, white, or African or American, wherever, but mostly among African women, that one of the things that bothered most African women, especially from where I come from, was the fact that our men, our husbands, our brothers, or our sons were not able to express their emotions or express the way they feel most times. And every time I had that comment, I was in agreement with it, because you may see a guy or your brother, and they may be going through so much, but they do not show what they're going through. And the thing that I realized was that when amongst all these conversations, the common thread of it was the fact that, especially when the person was a husband, the wife was worried or expressed their frustration in the fact that the men were not in tune, especially when the woman was going through something. Let's say was going through emotion of sadness, or feeling down, feeling depressed or unhappy, or even when they're excited or happy, their husbands were not able to, understand what they were going through, or even express similar sentiments with them. So it is a notion that African men are not romantic. I beg to differ, but it is, a quote-unquote African men are not romantic, or they don't express love the way we want them to. So the charge has been there. It is something that has been placed on our brothers and our husbands and our sons. But whenever I heard that comment, it is a fact. Some men, you will not get anything, blank feelings. And this is not even to, put the blame on our husbands or our sons and our brothers. But I sat down, and the Holy Spirit brought me to this question: whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that African men, or Ghanaian men, or Nigerian men, or men were not able to express their feelings or their emotions or their sentiments or what they were going through. And I realized that I'll speak for what I know, which is our background. And we realized that when we're growing up, men are typically put in the background when it comes to things of the house, like in the kitchen, or men, our younger brothers and siblings were not allowed to be in the areas that were predominantly, thought to be for the female. And I know that most times mothers over the years, when a young boy or their son is crying, we hear the comments, "Hey, boys don't cry, stop, don't do that. Why are you crying why are you crying like a girl? Shut, keep quiet. Shh, don't do that. Don't show emotion. Boys are not supposed to cry. Don't, and we have implanted this notion and this mentality and this fear or this ideology in our young boys since their infancy. And we as mothers are repeating that cycle. If you bear with me and you agree with me, most African mothers would yell at their sons immediately, would not allow them to cry. Boys are not supposed to show emotions. Boys are supposed to be tough and just, be like that. So he grows up in the environment and in the ideology and the mentality that it is wrong for him to show any kind of emotion. It is wrong for him to cry. It is wrong for him to express his feelings or how he was going. If you were, back home, if you showed any sense of femininity or showed any sense of your feelings as a young boy, you were a little tagged. You may be looked as too feminine or too out there. If you were always around the kitchen with your mother, people will criticize and your aunties or your sister will like, "Get out of here, get out. Why are you always amongst women? Why are you always around your mother? Why are you always, mommy's boy? Why are you always in the kitchen?" We begin to discriminate against young boys at a very early age. So they are kept out of the kitchen. They are kept out of places that women are predominantly supposed to be. And we don't allow them to be in tune with what they are feeling, be it sadness, be it worry, be it fear, be it, any form of feelings at all. So they become stoic. They shut it all in, they bottle it all up. And their father figure, remember, had the same cycle passed down to him. So in essence, it was a taboo, not acceptable. You cannot do that and express your feelings. So roll back, this young boy will grow up, he'll get married, and his wife will be expecting this young boy that has been yelled at, that has been shut down, that has been told you cannot cry, you cannot express your feelings, you cannot show any emotion, has become somebody's husband. And here he is, his wife is expecting him to cry with her, to show that he loves her, to show his emotion of "I understand you," to come and help in the kitchen, come and take care of the baby, come and take care, be more romantic. Come on, why are you like this? But what we forget is that he was brought up that way. He was told it was not allowed by his mother. You are probably a mother. We are doing the same thing to our sons. We are shutting our sons down. We are telling them, don't express your feelings. Don't let me see. You're a boy. Boys don't cry. And then they become husbands. And we want our husbands to cuddle us, be romantic, put their hands around us, show us they care, bring out some sense of emotion or feeling. You'll be crying and wailing, and your husband will be looking at you like, "Okay, I get it." And you'll be like, "Don't you care? He doesn't even care. He doesn't even see what I'm going through." How is he supposed to see what you're going through? He wasn't told how. He wasn't showed how. He wasn't allowed to see how. Why can't my husband cook and help me in the kitchen? Well, his mother kicked him out of the kitchen. It belonged to girls. Boys are not supposed to be in the kitchen. Why my husband is this, my husband is that. Why can't you even show any feelings? He was not allowed to show feelings. And unconsciously, you and I as mothers are repeating the same cycle. We are telling our boys, boys don't cry. And yet, when they become husbands, wives are expecting these boys to show emotion. And when that realization hit me, I realized that it's okay. When my son cries, when my son is sad, when my son expresses any form of emotion, it is okay. God placed that sense in them as well. But we keep shutting it down. We keep pressing it down. We keep keeping it out.